All right. Welcome, guys, gals, gays, and theys, again, to the Hangout Quest podcast. I'm here with Kamri again.
I'm Kamri again. And today, what are we talking about?
Well, the first thing I want to talk about is Genshin. But, hey, that's
surprise.
Just... Surprise! It's a surprise topic. Now, we'll try to... We'll fool around with some other stuff. I want to open up with FOMO. And if you think it works, does it work on you? Is it a problem in Genshin? Do you have any opinion on FOMO? That's the, we could start there.
So before this iridescent Arataki rock and roll, whatever the thing was called, event, I would easily have said no. But they've introduced, or maybe it's something they've done before, this really vexing mechanic where new dialogue was available with characters only on the human Earth day, like, of the event. So, like, day one, day 2, day 3, day 4. Yeah. And I, normally not a sufferer of FOMO, just wait to play the whole event until I have the time to set aside and I can play it all at once, because that's how I prefer to do it. But I missed out on a whole bunch of interactions with characters that I would have liked to get to do because I wasn't there when I was supposed to be there, quote unquote. So now there is FOMO, and I hate that.
I see. Yeah, that is terrible. I wasn't even thinking about that. That's right, though. Because I also totally missed out on the Yaimiko interaction, and I am very sad about it. I wonder if they get a lot of negative feedback from that. Because I don't think that they've had stuff like that before.
I've never run into it being a problem, because I often don't play things as they're coming out. I have in the past, things I'm really excited about, sure. But I don't always have the time or the energy to do something on the day that's going to take a lot of either time or energy. Right. So I hope they get a lot of negative feedback. I feel very negative about it myself.
Yeah, and I mean, there's even if you were playing, there's no guarantee that like Yaimiko was sitting right on the stage, but like if she was off the stage just a little bit, like you could just miss her, you know? I really don't approve, because it's like, yeah, if she was standing somewhere else that was even a little bit missable, then some people would miss it, you know, because they just log in and they just like teleport there, do the game, and then teleport away and do their dailies and then log off, you know? So like I don't...
Right, which...
And you wouldn't know unless you saw on Reddit or something that that Yaimiko was there. Turn around, go back, you know?
Yeah, which they have done... On recent other events, they've started putting NPCs all kinds of all over the place, where I know in the past they've done it to a limited degree, but it feels like during the not Fontaine Fashion Week, the movie festival, they're like, Ayaka was just at the boss fight with the ice skaters. And I never would have just gone there to look for her. I had to look up where she was.
Yeah. I usually look up if characters are around after an event, because I think it's fun. You know, I like that they are around, even if it is really far away or whatever. Like Ayaka being out by the dancers, you would have never gone there, but at least you had 20 days to figure it out, you know? Like at least you had a long time to like see it in social media or whatever, that Ayaka's hanging around.
Right. It didn't disappear overnight.
Yeah. Yeah, I really do not like the disappearing overnight thing. You're right, that's absolutely terrible. And it's sad because like I don't even know, like I really like the characters, like Ayaka being at the ice rink. Like I think that was great. And there've been other instances of that where characters hang out after an event, and I like it. But that's so different.
Yeah, I mean, they always have to some extent done that. I feel like in the past, they didn't take the characters as far away from the main action as they have started doing lately. But if they're going to do literally time limited character interactions, I just am going to miss them sometimes. And that's going to suck a lot, even though I play the whole event.
Yeah.
I don't think I should be punished for not playing it the day that it drops.
Yeah. Ah, dang, dude, there's like a survey like last week or something, and I totally forgot. I totally just said Dehya was the best again. I just submitted that. I didn't put any of these criticisms. Like, I should have used the... Maybe you still have it?
They gave you a platform. And you squandered it. I don't think I have done it yet, so I will do it for both of us.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm speaking for 2 people here, by the way. If you could put that in the...
And I don't mean I'm pregnant.
Yeah, I usually just praise Dehya and complain about Tighnari's hoodie. That's my go-to survey. But I was in a hurry. So.
I am shocked that you don't normally ask for more outfits.
I do sometimes. It depends. Like when did the outfits come out? It was Lantern Rite or whatever. I totally did like a write-up for Lantern Rite talking about how they should do more outfits. I would give them all my money.
Yeah, when I don't have any specific feedback, I will say I want new outfits for Hu Tao, please.
That's a good thing. That kind of reminds me that typically we could say, not that this matters because they don't read surveys, because of course they don't. But and also we're not CN, so it is delusional to think that they read ours specifically. But I don't know. Are you aware of them dropping the patch notes the other day? Not the patch notes, but the dev notes about the upcoming...
The dev notes.
Whatever, the live stream.
I didn't know that there were full dev notes. I saw that there were going to be changes to a couple of systems, but I didn't have time to read it when I saw it, and then I haven't found it again.
I see. Well, they did mention in there specifically that they're looking for more feedback about like the loadout system, and they changed a little bit about the loadout system. And I think that they know that players are pretty upset about the current loadout system and how it's not a loadout system. But they like specifically mentioned like we see your feedback, and it's like it's interesting.
The artifact loadouts?
Yeah, the artifact loadouts. I don't know what I was saying. But yeah, I mean the artifact loadouts.
Well, you said a loadout system. I just wasn't tracking with you. That's on me.
Gotcha. Yeah, definitely the artifact loadouts. And they're changing it a little bit, but it's not. It's like
I just want to save presets. I don't feel like that's much to ask.
I also don't feel that. Nobody feels like that's much to ask. So we don't, oh geez. But anyway, probably should put that on our surveys instead of.
Maybe so. I do know that for Honkai Star Rail, they are implementing or have recently implemented a fix where when you change the path that your traveler is on, you like the presets of their gear stays with that version of them instead of having to reload it all. Interesting.
I didn't know that.
So, I mean, they have the tech.
That's very interesting. Like. I would love loadouts, dude. That'd be so great. Real loadouts. But
real loadouts.
Other than that, I don't know. The only other system I heard about was that they're increasing the resin cap to 200 to 20 to 200.
Yes, I had heard that.
That's gonna be great.
I am theoretically excited about it. I need to spend my resin more regularly than I'm currently spending my resin. Please don't take away my Genshin card.
No, I mean, tons of people are in your boat, so it's like, I'm happy about it for you because like when you're in the mood to spend your resin, even when you're in the mood to spend your resin, you refuse to log on twice a day because you don't want Genshin to have that power over you. I personally am powerless.
I also have like a life. I don't know.
Yes.
It's not easy for me to get in twice a day.
Which is, Of course, I'm not life shaming you. I'm just pointing out that you that you have a life, and I don't.
Right.
So
well,
like,
I'm now life shaming you because you do log in, but Genshin won't work on my phone, so I don't even have the option, like on my lunch break at work or something like that, to uncap.
right, which is what I do. I always do that. So like, I personally am not going to benefit from the resin cap increase pretty much at all, because I'm completely addicted and my resin hasn't been capped for 600 years. But that's technically a lie. It caps sometimes, but it's the worst thing in the world, and I try not to let it happen.
Well, I mean, you'll benefit in that you don't have to be so anxious about it.
Yeah, that's true.
You get more cushion time to make sure it doesn't cap.
Yeah. But like, practically speaking, you will end up getting a lot more resin out of it though on the days that you're in the mood, which is cool. And a lot of people will, you know. I feel like a lot of people are in that boat, you know, which is great.
Yeah, there's a lot of filthy casuals like myself in the game.
That's right, dude. I'm pretty happy about it. I haven't seen anything else from the dev notes though. I'm super excited about Clorinde though. I just we need the trailer update, or the trailer. That's what we need for her story quest.
I am so incredibly holding my judgment. I'm going to have to play her story quest right away. I feel like I do not know enough about her. She just seems like a stone cold cool bitch, and I like that, but I need a little more.
Right. I'm right there with you. I think there's lots of potential.
Definitely.
She can be a cold bitch with some personality. It's going to be great. I love it whenever she walks in after saving Fremene's life and just says, like, Paimon's like, what are you doing? What are you doing here? And she's like, work. I don't know.
I'm on the clock, Paimon. This is just my job.
Now, I say that, please, dear God, do not just make her another overworked waifu. Listen, like, it's great that she's got some sort of attitude about her work. I need it to not be... I need it to be, like, less than 20% of her personality, please. Please.
I mean, everything we know about her right now is her job, but she also likes tea. We'll see. I think there's more there.
We will see. Hopefully... No, I mean, I guess not even hopefully, you know... We do know that she kind of cares about Furina, which is why, you know, like 80% of the reason I'm super hyped.
She kind of cares about Furina. She really cares about Navia. I'm pleased. This is good.
Right. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, one of my topics that I wanted to talk about today was story quests versus hangout quests. And which one you prefer, specifically because you have done a lot of hangout quests and a lot of the story quests. So I have done mostly story quests. And by that I mean I've done all the story quests except for some of the most recent ones, and then I've only partially done a couple hangout quests. But you have done most of the story quests and pretty much all of the hangout quests.
Yeah, so I have not done the story quests that have come out recently. So Chiori, Arlecchino, Sino Part 2, and Auntie Yoon, Cloud Retainer, are the only story quests that I have not played. I have played an embarrassing amount of the hangout quests. I would say all of the ones for all the characters that I like, and some of the characters I don't like, but not Lynette because it's really new and I haven't gotten to it right now. Controversially, maybe not controversially, I really think the hangout quests are some of the best content in the game for me, because I love the characters and I think they're a really good way to hang out with the characters that you love and get to know a lot about them and get to see them, like, more dimensions of them. The Beidou story quest really comes to mind here, where there's a ton of stuff I learned about Beidou playing through her story quest. I had no idea about. And yeah, probably I could have learned about it by reading her flavor text or listening to every single voice line that she has in the character menu. But it was way more fun to sort of be on like a hangout or a date or I thought of it as a date. Personally, I have issues with Beto and get to learn about that stuff.
Right. Yeah, I guess I forgot about all the voice lines, because that's something that, like, you play all the hangout quests like a psychopath. I listen to every single voice line like a psychopath and read all the the short stories. So that's my preferred version of this, I guess. But you like it whenever stuff is like played out on screen.
Yeah, I like it to come a little more organically. I mean, I'm not opposed to listening to the voice lines of the characters I like or reading their short stories when I have time and when I feel like it. But I would rather go on a field trip with my favorite character than do homework about my favorite character. And I feel like that's the difference.
Mm-hmm. That's fair. I love the story quests. I think that, I guess I see where you're coming from with like the hangout quest being kind of almost objectively the best type of content and the best content in the game. Like, it's good stories, and also they show a lot of facets of the characters. So like you get them from tons of angles. Whereas like the story quest, even if it's a really good story quest like Dia's or something, there's only one of them, and it's like one like movie about a character, and it's like if it's good or bad kind of varies, and then there's only one of them.
There's only one of them. You don't get a picture at the end. I love that
that too. Yeah.
The hangout quests give you snapshots for your memories. You can replay
Amazing
the hangout
pictures.
quests infinitely.
They did add the like you can like listen to the story quests again now, I'm pretty sure. Like they have the audio files in the in there in a menu like Star Rail has.
And I mean, I guess that's cool, but you can't play the story quest again.
Yeah.
And I think another thing I really like about the hangout quests is the like branching paths where you can see, you can make choices, and no, they don't functionally matter because you have to end up doing all of them. But you can see the character react in different ways, and you can kind of see where it's a choose your own adventure a little bit. I mean, it's a choose all the adventures eventually, but
yeah, if you want the primo gems.
If you want the primo gems, but like Kave's story quest goes so many different places. Faruzan's story quest goes so many different places. And sometimes people's story quests bring you into contact with other characters on some of their branches. Like Faruzan is a good example. Kale's in a couple of her branches. Tighnari's in one of her branches. And
which is awesome.
It's awesome. And that's not the only story you get to experience with her. You get to experience 3 other stories as well with her hangout quest, all beginning with the same premise.
Mm-hmm. The only hangouts I've done Chung Yoon's hangout, and I've done a lot of Lynette's hangout quests. I haven't finished it yet. Or like, I haven't gone down every single path, I don't think. But Furina showed up, Lenny showed up. Like, Lynette's hangout quest was glorious, dude. I was so shocked whenever Furina showed up.
I'm looking forward to Lynette's. I unfortunately would say that Chung Yoon's is one of the more boring hangout quests
it wasn't
in the
very
game.
Good. I love Chung Yoon, so I don't know. I liked it, but
he's great. There's just not as many branches to his. I feel like his is a lot more repetitive than some of the others.
I don't think I've played the Kave quest, but I watched you play most of it, so I know a lot about the Kave quest.
Yeah, we did that one together.
Yeah, we love Kave here. What's your favorite hangout quest, you think?
I really enjoyed Ningguang's hangout quest, but I think my favorite at the moment might be Beto's. I couldn't tell you why, objectively. I just really liked them both.
I see.
I feel like also Kave's and Faruzan's surprised me. And I really, as much as Faruzan was not a character that I held in high esteem before I played her Hangout quest, it really made me love her a lot. And I think it gets really, really big points for the characterization that it gave to her and the way it let her play with some other characters where she's not really doing that much in her other appearances. So I dodged the question. I have too many favorites, I guess.
That's fine. We're playing. I know what game we're playing, so it's fine. Yeah. I love Farazan. I really want to. I need to get to the bottom of playing her AI quest. She doesn't get to show up a lot in the Archon quest. She's shown up in several events, I guess. But,
yeah, I feel like she had a
might be
decently large role in the Inter-Darshan tournament. But otherwise doesn't get a ton of screen time to my memory.
I was going to say that Beto doesn't get a lot of Archon screen time, but she does. I mean, she does. So that's not why you like her. Her Hangout quest.
Yeah, I mean, she's around.
It's there.
She takes us from Liyue to Inazuma.
Yeah. And I mean, she's there with like Shinha and Yunjin whenever we're like first getting a gang together to fight the sea monster. So, or we weren't fighting the sea monster yet. We were building. Well, yeah,
but she was there visiting her girlfriend. So,
right, exactly, wonderful. I mean, I don't have enough hangouts to proclaim a favorite, I guess, other than I'd probably say it's Lynette's. But,
of the two you've played and the most of one you've watched, it's Lynette's.
It's crazy. The story quests, I absolutely love Dehya's story quest. Do you have a favorite story quest?
Tell us why you love Dehya's story quest as a stall while I think about it.
Okay, wonderful. I love Dehya's story quest because it shows a turbulent relationship with someone, her father, who like hurt her in the past, and she learns a lot about the situation. Like, she thinks it's that he's just this awful person who abandoned her, and like it's basically his fault that her life was ruined and stuff like that. Not that she feels like her life is really ruined. Like, she's definitely a make the most of it kind of person, but he's the reason her life has been so hard, and she blamed him for it. And then she goes on this journey with Booney and us, and she finds out a lot about how her dad had good intentions and didn't just abandon her for no reason, and like he had all these good reasons to do these bad things to her, and he tried to help her out in her life in ways that she didn't like realize. And he's dead now. We get to the end and he's dead. And so she's learned all these things about the situation, and in the very end of the quest, we like ask her like, how do you feel about this? And the reason I love the quest so much is because she learned all of the context, and then in the end she decided that she was not ready to forgive her father, even though she knew he was like, he did it for good reasons and stuff like that. He still hurt her too much for her to just forgive him. And it doesn't matter that he had good intentions. You can't just get away with that. And I really, really like that. I feel like it was really brave of a Chinese company, especially, to like attack a nuclear family unit like that in a way that, like, I don't know. She respects her dad, but she's not going to forgive him just because he meant well. Like, her life, she wanted him, and that's what she wanted. And he totally took that away from her. So, and I really enjoyed that. Like, whenever we ask her point blank, like, how do you feel about it? She's like, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not ready to forgive him. I'll be thinking about this for a long time. He's dead anyway. I just have to process this. And I don't know. I just thought it was really mature storytelling for Genshin Impact. That you don't have to forgive someone just because they had good intentions, or that even that they're sorry. Like, I really liked it. I thought it was great.
I agree. Dehya's story quest, in all honesty, is probably also my favorite, which is why I require a stall, because we've talked about this at length. It's beautiful storytelling, and as someone who firmly believes that forgiveness is not all it's cracked up to be and is not 100% necessary in all situations, I think that it is beautiful that this game specifically, is telling us that, especially with a character who, I mean, Dehya, they so easily could have just flipped her into letting it go, because I feel like she is such an easygoing character that it wouldn't have been out of character for her to have this, like...
She does not hold grudges.
Yeah, she lets go of stuff, so it wouldn't be hard to make that her choice, and it wasn't, which I really, really like. So I guess my second favorite story quest then would have to be Tighnari's, even though before playing it, I really did not care for the guy.
He's like your 87th out of 90 favorite character, but his story quest is like number 2.
His story quest is really good, and it does raise him in my esteem some. Not enough. I don't like his character design at all. I have a lot of issues with it personally that I don't have to get into here. I was also playing Genshin in the era before he was replaced, and when all the problematic stuff about the original voice actor came out. So we can set all of that aside. I hated the guy when I went into this story quest. But I really like the story quest. I really like that he has a soft and nurturing side that we get to really see. I like that he doesn't care what the academia would want. I like that he would put his reputation and his standing and whatever on the line for the things he actually believes in.
Sure.
And
yeah.
I don't know. He was like really willing to put himself out there for that. Cute, adorable, beloved robot that we love and treasure.
He was just sad that his guy died, and Tighnari was there for him.
Tighnari was there for him. And it made me, it made me respect him as Kale's adopted father. I can see it now. And for both his care of the robot and his care of sweet Kale, we love him. It's kinda.
Right. Like, he can be there with Sino at the gatherings, and like, we'll be okay with it. Like, that's fine.
Yeah, well, and for Sino's sake, I'm happy he's there.
Sure, yeah. We don't have to yell at Sino that he can find someone better. They're pretty good.
They're a good pair. I like them. And Tighnari is kind to Kaveh, which we also appreciate as Kaveh lovers.
True. That's right. Yeah, I totally agree, and I think that my favorite thing about Tighnari also is his willingness to put like his reputation on the line. I really enjoy that part of his story quest, and I really enjoy that part of the Archon quest whenever Sino tells us the like go talk to this guy named Tighnari. I know, he's my friend. Name drop me. He operates outside the academia. He won't give a fuck because I'm asking him to do it. And that was totally true. And I really liked that about Tighnari, that he believes in some stuff, and he like I think that he kind of officially like left the academia because of his beliefs of whatever things, and he's like totally willing to put his money where his mouth is on those things, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
And he's willing to risk the wrath of the academia to save a little robot.
That quest, as well as your read of that part of the Archon quest, helped me to turn around on him, because I really, when I played it through, of course, when the General Mahamatra says to do the thing, that also feels like a high authority. So him saying, yeah, screw the academia, a high authority, I'm going to do what the other high authority told me to do. It didn't have the impact for me in that moment. Yeah, that it did on reflection. It also, the whole Mahamatra, where that stands in the power ranking of Sumeru, I do not understand still.
Who knows, man? Pretty high.
Pretty high, but higher than the academia?
Yeah, I don't think so. I think I think the general, I think what Sino is if Sino shows up on your front door, you do what he says. And then like later on, maybe you go to someone else and ask if that was okay. But like, it's a, you know,
Yeah.
if he's there, you're doing what he tells you to do.
Right.
And then if you've got a problem with that, go talk to the academia and they'll point you in the right direction. But he's a pretty high authority.
If Alhaitham and Sino are standing in the same room telling you to do different things, I mean, obviously, I'll do what Sino says because screw the academia and screw Alhaitham in particular. But who are you supposed to listen to? I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm just, you know, Alhaitham is just a scribe, Kamri.
No, he's like the head scribe now.
He's the head scribe, but he's not.
No,
he's not the acting grandmaster like he was. He did that. He did
maybe
do
not
that
anymore, but he
bit.
was the acting grandmaster.
And I think that he kind of has a reputation, so it's like, even if he's not the Grandmaster, I feel like a lot of people probably de facto, you know, like, listen to him, probably.
Right.
Since we don't, you know, other than Nihida.
Okay, if whoever is the Grandmaster. I just wanted to say screw
I'm sorry,
Alhaitham.
you were trying to make a point. Yeah. I personally enjoyed Eula's story quest kind of a lot, and you did not, did you?
I hated it so much.
Yeah. I kind of liked it because I didn't really know that much about Eula's personality before then, and it's like I liked the playful, like, I will get vengeance on you, like, thing that kind of like came out. I enjoyed it because I didn't really know what her gimmick was going to be.
Okay, I also didn't know much about Eula.
That's fair.
And I really hated the what did not seem to be all that playful, wanting to get vengeance on us and teaching us all the rules and everybody in the town hating her and she just is like nice or whatever. I just, from how much the Genshin fan base loves Eula, and from that, is it a trailer or a character teaser where she does the tango?
That was, I believe, the teaser.
I thought she was going to rock my socks off, and she disappointed so thoroughly that I don't like the character at all now.
Dang.
And that's a problem, because lots of people do like her.
They do like her. That is.
I just think it's all style, no substance, personally.
That's crazy. I don't know. I've got a soft spot in my heart for Eula, I guess. Because, like, I understand that she's not exactly the most, like, crazy rebel ever. She's basically just taking a very normal person stance with the, like, slavery thing. But, like, I still give her credit for it, though. You know, like, her family did pressure her, and she did, like, come out from that. I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, it's just a soft spot I have, I guess. I like her.
You can like her. People can like her. I know in the first episode of this podcast, I told people to come at me. Eula Main specifically, I was mean. People can like her. I get it. It's just not for me. It is not. She doesn't hold up, in my opinion.
That's fair. That's, you know, I get it. I'm trying to think if there's any, like, other story quests that were, like, super great. Or, like, super awful. I mean, Furina's story quest was kind of super awful.
We were pretty mad at Furina's. I like the song.
The song was fantastic. I love it. It's so incredible. I just really hate all of the narrative stuff leading up to the song. It was so bad.
Yeah, it was pretty upsetting. You're going to need to make a video about that story quest, I think, and I will happily help you with it because the thoughts I know that I have about it, I know that you have about it, will take the remainder of our podcast time to explore.
That's right, dude. Yeah.
And we can't show
we
pictures
love Furina.
here.
We love Furina's song.
or sequences.
Yeah.
But the song slaps.
Yeah. I want to talk about some of our other favorite video games. And so I want to get to the bottom of this. I want you to talk about Stardew Valley and why you like it so much. I want to hear.
Okay. I love Stardew Valley. I think it's cute. I think it's nice. I like building something. I like working towards a goal. I like dating all the women in town separately on separate runs. I do not date them all at once. I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings. Except I do not date Abigail. I will say that. I just don't care for Abigail.
I was going to expose you if you didn't expose yourself. But
listen, I won't date Abigail. And I've tried. I cannot finish. I can't go through with dating Harvey. I can't. I've never gotten to the wedding with Harvey. He's the pharmacist or the doctor, I mean.
Oh, okay.
And he likes model airplanes, and he doesn't leave the hospital very often. He's sweet. He is, but it's just not enough for me. I'm just being judgy on today's episode. Welcome to the pod.
No, dude. We're judgy bitches here. It's fine. You like Emily, right? Emily's my favorite.
I love
She's
Emily.
The bird girl, right?
Emily is the first character that I ever married in Well, actually, that's a lie. Leah is the first character that I ever married in Stardew Valley. Emily was the next. I actually divorced Leah and married Emily. And then divorced Emily and remarried Leah on that farm. I've been on that farm for way too long.
Drama.
Drama.
Nice.
No, I think it's nice. There's like lots of little hidden secrets. I love the Junimos. They're awesome. Stardew Valley is the kind of game that I used to play most often. I never would have seen myself playing something like Genshin before Genshin itself. And games that are management heavy and relationship buildy and farm-y are my bag. I really like them. And Stardew Valley just kind of hits that perfect balance where there is content that challenges me. The fishing is kind of hard. The mining is kind of hard. The
fishing is bullshit, dude. That fishing is something else.
The fishing sucks, but when you fish every fish in the game without any fishing mods, it does feel good to get that star drop fruit for reviving the art of fishing or whatever Willie wants you to do. It's comforting. It's nice, and it was best for me when I didn't have a life full of tasks to check off every day, or on days where I feel like I had a bunch of tasks and I couldn't check any boxes because of whatever. It just is really comforting to be able to, grow your plants and water your seeds and make your money and bring Emily that gemstone she asked for. It feels good.
And listen, I mean, the music in Stardew Valley is like just banging.
Yeah,
dude. Like
top
just bangers
tier.
Left and right. Yeah. Crazy.
Top tier. And the mayor's having an affair. Spoiler.
Dude, there's so much
for
drama.
Like
it's great.
Stuff that only happens in the background. You have to be paying attention to know about.
That's an internet meme at this point, though.
Well,
I know about the mayor's affair.
Okay, that one is not so much in the weeds. There are some other little hinty things. You have to rummage through some drawers and find some porn stashes and some revealing books. And
tell me about the artsy boy on the beach. What's
Elliot?
What are his skeletons?
Elliot's just a sweetie. I don't know if there's any skeletons with Elliot. Yes,
his hair
fabulous.
Is so good.
He's
it's
kind.
Fabulous.
He is really hard to romance because he keeps to himself on the beach a lot of the time, so he's hard to find.
No, you don't get it. He's hard to romance because you can't find him.
Yeah. You
there.
cannot find him. He is hard to find, but he's sweet and he plays the piano. I don't know. We love Elliot. There's a short list of characters that I have a hard time choosing between to marry every time I do a run because he gets to get married, and he is on that list, definitely.
I see. Yeah, nice. Now, I did completely hijack your favorite video game. Are there any other games you want to like shout out as like your as your it's your actual favorite video game?
No, I would easily say that other than Genshin, Stardew Valley is my favorite video game. It's just nice. It's very cozy. I've never been an Animal Crossing kind of person. But Stardew Valley is everything I always want Animal Crossing to be. Like, people can come at me. I know people love that game, but I don't get
Animal
it
Crossing mans,
personally.
come at
There's not
me.
enough to do.
I see. Yeah. Some of my favorite games are like Elden Ring right now, and there's a DLC coming out, so I'm gonna be hyped out of my mind for the foreseeable future about that.
What is the if it doesn't derail you, what is the DLC that's coming out?
Oh, it's the Shadow of the Erd Tree. It's going to be following Miquella's storyline. So there's a couple twins. One of them's really sick from like a sickness from gods, and her twin brother Miquella is trying to figure out a way to save her. He doesn't know that we've killed her because she's a boss in the game, but you know, that's whoops. But you know, what's going on is he is like, oh, the gods can't save my sister. Okay, I will completely rebel against the gods, become a god myself, and save my sister. I'll do it myself. And I really respect him for that, because he had to completely go against his family's religion, where his mom is like the god of the religion. And so he's going to have to like dethrone his mother to like, you know, get shit done because he loves his sister so much.
Wow.
I really like it.
I wish you hadn't killed his sister already.
Yeah, me too.
That's really upsetting.
I'm really bummed out about it. Yeah, I don't know if there's going to be like any sort of like ending. Like, there's multiple different endings you can get in that game, and they're all like where you just affiliate yourself with one of the other. The mom is going to die anyway. We're going to kill her, and we're going to like start the new age or not, I guess. There's several different options, but like,
is there an ending where you leave his sister alone?
Well, yeah, she is an optional boss, so you don't have to kill her. So, yeah, I'm thinking that, you know, if they add an ending in where Miquella, basically, you affiliate yourself with one of the other, like, candidates for godhood, and you just go kill the god for them on their behalf, and then set the new age for the new god being whoever it is, you know, you kind of affiliated yourself with. And so they could make it to where Miquella gets an ending of his own, where we kill his mom on his behalf and, you know, set the future up for him to be the god. And in that case, I'm guessing one of the prerequisites would be to not kill his sister.
I would bet
but,
so.
You know, yeah, I'm super hyped. I love Miquella.
Good. So, going back to what you love about Elden Ring itself.
Well, I'd say the lore is probably like 75% of the reason I love Elden Ring itself. I like the combat. I like the challenge. It reminds me of Dark Souls. You know, I love Dark Souls, but it's like, but my favorite thing about Dark Souls and Elden Ring is the like YouTube videos and fan content about the lore and everything else in it. And I mean, that's that, you know. I mean, I like the combat. I like building, you know, like character builds and stuff like that, because there's like, you know, it's really customizable. You can have a character that's like a wizard, or a character that's like a cleric or a barbarian or something. Like you have to like make that happen by giving it a bunch of strength and no intelligence or whatever. And then, you know, you can use a million different weapons and stuff. And it's cool, you know, it's fun to do that. And then the different endings are pretty cool, because you have to go through and like do like story quests that are going to be like against certain other NPCs. So, you know, to get one ending, you have to be antagonistic to like another faction or something. And then like in the next playthrough, you can be friends with that faction and antagonistic toward a different faction, you know, which is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, so you can make choices. There's a lot of replayability. And
absolutely.
You can not only change what your choices are, but who you are when you make them. That, you know, I like that flexibility. I wish it wasn't like...
Yeah.
This is, I don't think, controversial. I think people who like Dark Souls games know they're really ugly. They're like grimy, dirty.
Okay.
Like, they're, listen, It's an
That
art
is
style.
controversial.
They do good at what they do. I'm just saying it's like, it's meant to be kind of gross.
There's definitely aspects of things that are meant to be gross. I will say the Boreal Valley in Dark Souls 3 is probably like the most beautiful thing I've seen.
Yeah, there's pretty stuff. I just mean like all the bosses are really gross.
Yeah, some of the bosses are pretty gross. But I mean, I see what you're saying. I feel like, especially in like Elden Ring, there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot more beauty and disgusting stuff in Elden Ring. I can get the criticism of Dark Souls being a lot more grungy.
Grungy, that's a better word.
But there's
for
a lot
it.
of really beautiful stuff. Yeah, the Dark Souls stuff. There's a lot of grungy. There's a lot of grunjos out there, but some of them are straight horror freaks too. Like some of the bosses are absolutely horrifying. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely a lot more like beautiful things in Elden Ring though. And the graphics are better, but, you know, slightly. I don't know. And then, I mean, League of Legends is one of my other favorite games, I guess. You know, like, if we're talking time spent, I've spent a lot of time in League of Legends. So, like, it would be bullshit of me not to include that, you know.
I don't know. I mean...
We don't have to talk a ton about League of Legends, though. I just want to throw it out there.
I've spent a lot of time in The Sims.
Yeah.
I like it. I wouldn't say it's one of my favorite games, despite the many, many hours that I have put into it.
I guess it would be... I consider it, like, favorite in just, like, a different way, you know? Like, clearly,
yeah,
something
I'm just,
about
like,
it.
asking you to own it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah, dude. I think that's those are some of my those are the games I'm going to be like referencing all the time, I guess. I guess I just want to quickly shout out Lego The Hobbit, one of the most fun games ever. I love Lego Hobbit. Anyway, that was a good time. I played that. I 100% of that game for like achievements and stuff, like when it came out. When I was like high school or whatever, it was like the perfect time of my life. Like, you know, the Hobbit movie just came out, and I'm just like, yeah, dude, Lord of the Rings is great. I love this. And then, you know, the Lego game was just hilarious and really fun. Anyway,
I will fully co-op a Lego game with you. I used to play Lego Star Wars with my siblings all the time. It was not a good time because none of them are good sharers, but I like the Lego. They're always such silly, funny games.
Yeah, that would be great. I don't know what kind of co-op is available for some of the older Lego games. I don't know if you can do like over the internet. I don't know. We'd have to get to the bottom of it. There's probably mods or something that Lawson can help us with. Let's move on to the ship of the week. We've got Tomato. Tomato. That's where we're at. Good old dog boy. and Ayato.
Good old Toma and Ayato. So, peek behind the curtain. I picked this ship this week because this is probably unironically and honestly my favorite Genshin ship.
That's almost insanity, I feel like, but respectfully, absolutely
there are a
respectfully.
lot of great ships. There are a lot of great ships in Genshin. But I think Toma and Ayato are so sweet together. I think Toma is one of the nicest, most enjoyable, most affable characters in the game. I love him and I want only good things for him. And he gets those good things with his boyfriend who loves him. And he knits sweaters for stray animals and does his housekeeping, and Ayato buys him dongo milk every time he's out, and we get to hear about it, and it just is important to me.
That's fair, yeah. The fan art is what's important to me, and there is a lot of gorgeous Tomato fan art. I love it.
We also, I have the underground theory that Chiori's her doll by the name Tomato is named because she also is a tomato enjoyer from way back.
That might be, you know, I think that is a deep cut, deep lore. Definitely could be. Because we know that Chiori is friends with Ayato at least, and if you're friends with Ayato,
Yeah, and if she's friends with Ayato, she's friends with Toma. Come on.
that honestly has to be what it is. Yeah, I really like. I like Tomato quite a bit. I think that the personality dynamic is pretty good. You know, I think that they kind of like fit together really well. They're not much like foils to each other. They're just very complementary.
They're really complimentary, yeah. Ayato is very serious, but he has a silly side. Toma's very silly, but he has a serious side. Mm-hmm. They hang out all the time. Toma literally works at Ayato's house because they can't be roommates unless there's a good reason in the story, but
no,
come on.
He just works at his house. Just all the time.
He's just a house spouse, and we need to pretend we need to take away this pretend label of housekeeper.
And he gets along great with Ayaka as well, so it's like
his sister-in-law.
I love the Ayato just has he's got a voice line about how he prefers dogs, and I just really personally I like a ship between Ayaka and Lynette, basically based off of Ayato's voice line alone. Like he prefers dogs. He's got Toma. I just like to believe that Ayaka prefers cats and likes Lynette. That's just my...
Well, Chiori prefers cats.
She does.
And has Kirara. I think that there's going to be additional information that we get about how Chiori and Ayato are best friends and perfect foils for each other.
Yeah, she's more of a foil. Yeah. Okay.
And people are going to ship them, and I will stand on my ground that she is a lesbian and he is gay.
Right.
She likes cats and he likes dogs.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. You, as an Ayato fan, you got to bat people off left and right. Like the Yaimiko people are coming for you. They want Yamato. People ship Yaimiko and Ayato a lot.
Well, I think that's wrong.
And you gotta fight those guys off. And I'm fighting the Toma mains off from Yaimiko's hill because I don't think Yaimiko's got a single use for a man, but that's
Well, apparently Kitsune feed off of the lust of men, so she enjoys the snack, but she's not staying for dinner.
And she can't eat Ayato. I like him. You can't do that. I need to play Toma more. He's got good mechanics. He can be a good version character. And
I
cool.
want a functioning Toma team so bad. I fought so long with my luck to get a Toma, and now I have one and I can't use him.
Right. We're working on it. We're gonna get you a good Toma team with Risley. It's the burning Risley.
Yeah, that's fine. It can be the oven team. Yeah. That's fine.
Since you have them all, you've got all the characters. You can.
Yes.
We just gotta.
Risley, in my eyes, needs the rehabilitation of hanging out with Toma.
Right.
Because circling back to story quests, his story quest ruined his character for me.
Absolute character assassination.
So bad. I don't even know if it was character assassination. It was just actually taking the breadcrumbs of his personality and bringing that to its logical conclusion.
It was like we were really worried about it throughout all the Archon quests, and then his story quest just kind of solidified that we weren't wrong with all of our assumptions. So it's like
we weren't wrong. He's a corrupt cop. ACAB includes Risley in a really upsetting way. They were like, look at this villain of this story quest. He's everything Risley could be, but just isn't yet.
Right.
Doesn't that make Risley so much better?
The only reason he's not is because he's in charge.
Doesn't.
Yeah,
it just doesn't make him any better. He abuses his power too. He just has more, so the abuse doesn't have to be as significant.
Mm-hmm. It's rough, dude. Risley's so hot.
He is. He's so hot.
That is such a shame.
And I hate it. It's just such propaganda that his cake is so good.
Mm-hmm. It does warm my heart how hot he is, though. Like, I'm glad we have him. I just wish it was a little different, you know?
I'll come back around on him because he is really hot, but I still need time.
He's a fan favorite, so he's gonna show up in some like events and stuff and just end up eventually doing something pretty cool, and you can just like attach that to him, you know?
Yeah. His and Uvulette's little romance, I don't hate.
Maybe that's the avenue.
If it were a character who was better than Uvulette, I would have an easier time. I just don't like Nuvulette very much. But I'm working on it. He's new to being human, relatively. And I'm working on forgiving a lot of his not being kind enough to Furina because he doesn't know he should be kinder. Mm-hmm. He's trying, I think.
And I'm trying to accept your point of view. And, you know.
So am I.
Yeah, we're all just really working on that. Our lives would be so much better if we just liked Nuvulette, but it's just... he doesn't make it easy.
I'm going to rewatch his story. I remember thinking it was really sweet.
Yeah, it was
how
quite
much he
sweet.
loves the Melazines.
I also liked his story. But the problem is how sweet his story quest is. Just reminds me that, it enforces that he in fact does know how emotions work, and he should be nicer to Furina. That's what.
Well, that's why I got to rewatch, because I don't know that I remember him being very tender as a person. Mm-hmm. I just remember him. We know he cares because we hear his thoughts and we see it raining more than him showing it in the way that we want him to show it to Furina. And if that is truly the case, forgiveness is on the horizon.
Yeah, we'll see.
For me.
Yeah.
Not for you. I understand.
Forgiveness. It all comes back to forgiveness. I took a whole, I guess it wasn't a whole class. I'm a philosophy major, and we did, I think it was in behavioral philosophy or something. We did just a large portion of a semester, I guess, was dedicated to forgiveness and how, I don't know, ways to earn it. And how, I have a lot of thoughts about forgiveness. Anyway, I
would love to have that conversation with you because I too have many thoughts about forgiveness.
Interesting.
But maybe the podcast is a weird place to do that.
I guess so, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. Hit us up in the comments. Do you want a long discussion on the pros and cons of forgiveness from a philosophy major and a psychologist? Let us know.
Wonderful. Perfect. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. That's all I wanted to talk about today. What's any final thoughts?
Final thoughts. If when playing Stardew Valley, you've got to date a man for preference reasons, Elliot is a great choice. Surprisingly, Sebastian, also a good choice. I didn't think that was going to happen. If you've got to date a woman like me, Leah is always a solid option. Emily is also great. Haley might surprise you. You know, maybe give it a try.
Which one's Haley?
She is Emily's sister. She takes photos and sunflowers.
Okay. The blonde one. Got it.
Yes.
And Sebastian's the emo guy, right?
Sebastian is the emo boy. Yes. My dates to avoid are Alex, not you, sorry, the alcoholic in Stardew Valley, and Sam, also Abigail. There you go. Those are my thoughts today.
If we're gonna get any comments, it's gonna be about how Abigail is the number one wife.
Good, come at me. This is the only place you can find me. I don't exist anywhere else. Get me in the comments below. I'll read them.
For FOMO, for my final thoughts, I feel FOMO about Genshin weapons now, the event weapons. I'm really upset that I don't have Furina's, or it's not Furina's weapon, but Festering Desire. It was Albedo's weapon from an event a long time ago. And I'm really, really upset that I don't have it. That's going to be remedied whenever I get Furina's signature weapon, but like for now, I feel upset that I don't have that weapon, and whenever weapons come back in events, I feel very like motivated to get the weapon. So that's something that, that gets me with FOMO nowadays.
Yeah, that's a good final thought. I had forgotten about the limited weapons.
Right. All right. I think that'll do it.
Okay. Sweet dreams, babies.